tomorrow's grand final. Places 3 and 4 will advance to the petite final, which will be tomorrow morning. And the places 5 and 6 will be in the third final, which is places 13 through 18 this afternoon at 4:20. Again, if you're not able to stay or if you're watching around from around the world, you may catch the live streaming on crewclassic.org/results.
Two minutes.
Our next race is going to be the men's collegiate varsity. This is the second heat. And quickly looking at lane assignments while we await for the start of this next race, there are 7 crews here. Santa Barbara is in lane number 1. Oklahoma City has a representative in lane number 2. UC Irvine in lane 3. Then to the far outside, out of Pullman, Washington, Washington State University. The UC Davis campus is represented in lane number 5. Sonoma State is out there in lane number 6, and Long Beach State occupies lane number 7. We'll have a race start here shortly. Just a reminder, you're listening and viewing throughout the world the San Diego Crew Classic. This is the 40th edition of this outstanding event that is run by a wonderful group of people that volunteer their time
UC Santa Barbara
to handle this race that you're seeing. 115 races today. I hope you're enjoying it.
Washington State, UC Davis,
Sonoma State, Long Beach State. Attention. Go.
We have a start to event number 6, Men's Collegiate Varsity B, Lane 1, UC Santa Barbara. Lane 2, Oklahoma City. 3, UC Irvine. Lane 4, Washington State University. Lane 5, UC Davis. 6, Sonoma State. And in Lane 7, Long Beach State. All crews away nicely. Early race leader, UC Irvine in lane 3. They've punched out to about a 3-seat advantage over lanes 2 and lanes 1, over Oklahoma City and over UC Santa Barbara. 250 meters down now, the Anteaters in lane number 3, your race leader, followed by UC Santa Barbara in lane 1. Next is Oklahoma City in lane 2. And then Washington State's in that 4th position, followed by Sonoma State in 5th. 6 goes to UC Davis, and Long Beach State in lane 7 is in 7th. UC Irvine rowing very nicely, made the transition to race pace, and as we approach the 500-meter mark, they're the race leader. UC Santa Barbara now takes a power 10, trying to work back on that early lead by UC Irvine in lane 3. So 500 meters, it's still Irvine, your race leader, followed by UC Santa Barbara in lane 1, then Oklahoma City, and then it's Washington State, then Sonoma State. UC Davis is in that 6th spot, and then Long Beach State is in 7th.
To the grand final, 2 to the petite. And right now, looking at lane assignments, in lane number 1, it's the University of California, Santa Barbara battling for the lead. Lane 2, Oklahoma City University, currently in 3rd position. In lane number 3, it's UC Irvine on the lead. Washington State University is in lane number 4. In lane number 5, the University of California, Davis. In lane 6, Sonoma State, and Long Beach State out in lane number 7.
UC Irvine has had a very successful early season, and they are a club program that was demoted a few years to a club, and it's good to see them going well. And sometimes you get a crew like this that just is magical. They have been dominating their early season racing. Oklahoma City, coming out, I think for their first time here, has had an early season win against Wichita, Colorado, and Kansas State, so they're representing the Midwest for us. And of course, Santa Barbara always throwing out a challenge.
University of California, Santa Barbara with a little course correction at about the 1,500 meter mark. And check that, the 1,000 meter mark. That will delay them just a little bit, but they are edging up on the lead along the shoreline, and they are battling UC Irvine out in lane number 3, and lane number 2 is Oklahoma City. Then to the far outside, it appears to be lane number 4, Washington State. And then to their far outside, looking at lane number 6, that's Sonoma State, UC Davis, and Long Beach State University.
Yes, we have a number of crews here that have very successful early season races. Their season will last through the end of May, so this is quite early to be doing this kind of speed work. And I have to say that Irvine looks like they're handling these conditions the best. But Washington State has had very successful races against Western Washington, Puget Sound, Pacific Lutheran, and Oregon. And they would be used to these conditions, maybe just missing the snow and the sleet coming down from Pullman.
And as you say that, Patty, Washington State begins to pick it up and begin to challenge on the lead. They're coming out of lane number 4, and it looks like they are putting on a serious challenge right now as the crews are about 750 meters away from our finish line. It is Washington State in lane number 4. Then to their inside shoulder, UC Irvine is trying to cling on to the lead that they had early. Then along the shoreline, it is Santa Barbara and Oklahoma State to the outside. Remembering that 2 are going to go through, 2 will go to the Petite, and so it's going to be a battle up front for just 2 crews to move forward. And it looks like we have basically a 4-boat race, but now it's begun to string out a little bit. Washington State making their run, but they've fallen back. It is UC Irvine in the light jerseys in the lane number 3 has reestablished their leadership, but they certainly have not made Santa Barbara along the shoreline go away. And here comes Oklahoma City in the middle of all the things as Washington State begins to fall back slightly on the outside. Then we go back to open water, and we're going to go to UC Davis, Sonoma State, and Long Beach State. It's Oklahoma City coming on strong in the middle of the activity here as they have really picked it up, and they are challenging Irvine in lane number 3. Along the shoreline, it is Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara outside to UC Irvine, but here comes Oklahoma City. It's going to be a 2-spot race that they need. It is Santa Barbara along the shoreline continuing to ever so slightly lead. They have about a 3-seat lead. Irvine on the outside. Santa Barbara sneaks up in there. Irvine fading a little bit. Oklahoma City pressing for that second spot. It is Santa Barbara along the shoreline in the gold jerseys and the blue shell. They have edged ahead of the UC Irvine Anteaters, and Oklahoma City may have run out of gas. It is UC Santa Barbara on the outside, Outside it is UC Irvine, and Oklahoma City makes a mad and furious charge, but I don't think they got there.
You know what? I think that we are going to have to wait for the results because Irvine lifted their rating to 41 and really came back at Santa Barbara. So I think only the cameras on the line are going to be able to give us the results. And here comes the replay here.
This is UC Santa Barbara clearly in the lead out there, and they pick up that first spot, and it is almost impossible to separate the 2 crews. The camera is offset just slightly as we have our replay. It looks like quite possibly Irvine held on, but like I said, we're going to have to wait for the official results. Official results are by the concession area down from the VIP tent high on the hill. Also, you can check on results on at twitter.crewclassic.org, and if you happen to have some access to the internet, it would be www.crewclassic.org/results. This, out of the 7-6 races that we've had, we have had incredible finishes on at least 4 of them.
Exactly, and back at the field, there's still a heavy-duty race on. There was a race on between Davis, Sonoma, and Long Beach to advance to this afternoon's third final. And I thought I saw the Davis coxswain raise her hand for a protest, so waiting to see the results.